Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to get started with the webinar in a few minutes, so we're just going to let a few more attendees hop on, and we'll begin at 2 p.m. Thanks. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to BizEquity's Small Business Prospecting webinar. We're going to get started now, and I'd like to introduce Jason Early, the Chief Revenue Officer of BizEquity. Take it away, Jason.
Thank you, everybody. We're very excited to spend the next half hour with you, and with that, we do promise to keep it to a half an hour, and so we know how busy you all are, and so with that, as a follow-up, we will send out a recording of the webinar as well as the slide deck that we're going to go through today, and that'll include the offers and things like that. So again, very excited to be with you. We appreciate you carving out the time. Our plan today is to kind of walk you through a little bit of who BizEquity is and what we set out to do, as well as what we see as kind of the greatest opportunity for financial advisors today, which is in the business owner marketplace. And so we've titled the webinar, The Key to Unlock the Door. And we think that business valuation, or understanding business valuation, is just that, the key to unlock the door to conversations with the business owners. And so as we go through the deck here, I'm just going to hit you with a little bit of the founding story of BizEquity. So Mike Carter, who is our founder and CEO, set out about 8 years ago to democratize business valuation knowledge for the business owner. Mike had founded and sold a couple software companies in his past, and then spent about 10 years with a legendary tech investor here in Philadelphia by the name of Pete Musser. And Mike and Pete were doing deals together, and they were investing in companies. And again, about 8 years ago, they came across a very successful business in Buffalo, New York. And these two gentlemen owned a lithium-ion battery making company. And Mike and Pete were looking at investing money into the company. And when they asked the two gentlemen what their business was worth, the two very successful gentlemen looked at each other and said, "Gosh, I don't know, 2 to 3 times." And Mike and Pete looked at each other and said, "Revenue?" And the two gentlemen said, "Gosh, no, we meant earnings." And that was kind of when the light bulb went off for Mike. And he said, "Gosh, how can these two highly successful business owners be so far off on the downside as to what their business is worth, he said there's got to be a better way. And so that was kind of the founding story of BizEquity, and we're going to talk about what we've done to enable financial advisors to engage with business owners to better serve them. And so there's been a lot of talk in the markets over the last several years about the opportunity with millennials, right? And this gigantic opportunity to manage millennial wealth. Eric Clark, who's the CEO of Orion and a friend of ours here at BizEquity, stood up on stage at the Schwab Impact Conference and said, "Time out." He said the greatest opportunity for financial advisors is not millennial wealth. He said it's the $12 trillion of business owner wealth in this country that is the single greatest opportunity in history for financial advisors. And the bigger thing is that $7 trillion of that business value will transfer over the next decade. So that comes from a CNBC study. And when you think about the impact that's going to make, and we believe here at BizEquity, and again, our mission to democratize business valuation knowledge is really for the 99% of businesses. So it's not necessarily for public companies. Obviously, we have the public markets that do that. It's not for the 1% of businesses that are venture-backed or private equity funded. It's for the Main Street businesses, right? These 99% of businesses that we all know and love that are really the belly of the beast for our economy. And those are the ones that are starving for advice. And those are the ones that make up this $7 trillion wealth transfer that's going to occur over the next decade. And so, again, we talk about the opportunity for financial advisors to help provide advice around that $7 trillion wealth transfer, and whether it's gather assets, whether it's protecting the value of that business through insurance, or providing advice, et cetera, et cetera. So here are some of the facts around privately held businesses and your ability to engage with these private businesses. And this is scary, right? This is kind of what we call the scary truth, which is 98% of businesses don't value themselves or don't know what their business is worth. And when you think about the fact that 78% of those businesses plan to fund their retirement 80 to 100% through the sale of their business, that becomes even scarier, right? So you think about what that means, right? And that's a business owner saying, yeah, I'm going to retire on the sale of my business. I just don't know what that means in terms of what it's worth, right? But even more scary is, again, 40% of business owners have no life insurance, and 50% of those that do are underinsured. So 9 out of 10 are getting it wrong from a protection product standpoint. And again, we believe that's because they just simply don't know the value of their business. And so what's the opportunity for the financial advisor or the RIA or the insurance agent or really anybody that serves the business owner? Well, it's to engage with the business owners on this very topic. And when we look at why only 2% of businesses value themselves, it's because when valuation is done traditionally, right, it's not built with the business owner in mind. It's very expensive. It takes forever, right? Typically 4 to 6 weeks, and it's highly intrusive and not to mention offline. And so because the process can be so painstaking, business owners just don't do it unless it's a triggering event, right? Be it a sale of the business, be it a divorce, be it a new equity partner, whatever the case might be. There are certain triggering events that lead someone to value their business. But in the case of an exit, as an example, if you go to value your business upon exit, it's not that it's too late. Rather, the market's going to tell you what the business is worth at that point, and you've given up control of what your business is worth. Rather, if you have an understanding 5, 10, 15 years prior to exit or to transition of that business, you have great control over what that business is ultimately worth and what that means for you and your family. The crazy thing is business valuation remains an $8 billion market. So think about that. Only 2% of businesses value themselves, yet it's an $8 billion market. So the market opportunity is incredible. There's almost no market out there, right? Industry or market opportunity out there where only 2% of the market does it in a given year, yet it's an $8 billion market. And so what we've done in kind of our pursuit of our mission, which is, again, to democratize valuation knowledge, is we want those that have the ability to provide this advice and provide business owners with an understanding of what their business is worth. We want to put them in front of the business owner. And so what we've created is this Zillow for Business prospecting tool that, again, gives you, the advisor, the key. And again, that's kind of our adage around the key to unlock the door with the business owner. And so what we've done is we've pre-valued over 33 million businesses across the country. So we're gathering publicly available data on private companies. We're putting all of that data through our algorithm to come up with these pre-valuations, and then we allow our subscribers to dynamically search based on where they are in the country, right, their markets, the industries that they serve, the value, et cetera, et cetera. So imagine being able to go into our platform and saying, all right, show me all the dentists in Chicago over $2 million. And we'd serve up, however many there are. And then by way of kind of clicking on that business, we're going to serve up all this information. So the key contact, right, the owner's name, phone number, email address, things like that. The benefit plan data, so on about 1 million businesses, we gather the 5,500 data and we'll serve up the benefit plan data. The big differentiator, right, is this pre-valuation or our biz estimate. And again, that's our best guess at what the business is worth based on the data that we've collected. And then we'll grade ourselves. We'll grade ourselves on the accuracy of that valuation. We say we're anywhere from 30% to 70% accurate based on the amount of data that we're able to collect on that business. We also have a very exciting partnership with Windfall Data, in which we'll serve up personal wealth data on the business owner as well. And so, again, all of this is at your fingertips as a subscriber, where you can now market to and engage with these business owners on a whole new level. Because, again, the contact records and things like that, that's not unlike data that you can get from other places. The big differentiator on our platform is this biz estimate. And so now you have the ability to engage with the business owner on what's most important to them, and that's their business value. And so in the platform, we'll serve up call scripts and email examples. I'll touch on that in just a second in the Success Center. But that we arm you, right, as the advisor, with language to call on the business owner. And think about calling a business owner, and I'm sitting here with Grace, and so imagine calling up Grace Wagner Dental and saying, hey, Grace, if you're like 98% of businesses, you haven't valued yourself, right? We have you pre-valued here on this platform at about $2 million. May or may not be right, quite frankly, but I'd love to come show you my complimentary business valuation tool to get a concrete understanding of what your business is worth and what that means to you and your family and your employees, et cetera, et cetera. And so while what you do is of the utmost importance, right, in terms of, wealth management and estate planning and insurance planning and or banking, whatever the case might be, whatever it is that you do for the business owner and the advice that you provide, they're getting a lot of phone calls around that, right, around their portfolio and their risk management and those different topics. They're getting very few phone calls on again, what's most important to them, and that's their business, right? They've put their blood, sweat, and tears into building their business, and that's probably the most important question that they can answer, which is, what is my business worth? And until BizEquity, there was no easy way to answer that question. And so, again, by having access to our platform, you now have the ability to answer that question for them, and excuse the pun, but deliver an awful lot of value. Because this is, when we think about our mission as a company, we think that we're up to an awful lot of good, because we've long struggled with the fact that we think it's impossible, quite frankly, to do any of these following things without knowing the answer to what is my business worth. And again, we know the data that 98% of businesses don't know their value. So how are you properly planning for retirement or managing risk or, understanding whether or not you're properly funded or that you're properly diversified? The answer is you can't do any of those things without knowing the value of your business. And so again, before BizEquity, it was very difficult to gain an understanding of what your business is worth. And now we're providing our subscribers with access to the ability to quickly and very simply understand that answer, and then ultimately to be able to provide sound advice, right? Because that's what's most important, is that the business owners number one, gain an understanding to what their business is worth, but two, that they get sound advice, again, whether it's on their succession plan, their personal financial plans, whatever the case might be. And so again, I've said it several times on this call already, our mission is to democratize business valuation knowledge, because we believe that business owners deserve to know that, right? So it's our endless pursuit to democratize that knowledge for them. And so that's why we've created the BizEquity Advisor Office that allows, our subscribers to deliver valuations in real time on your own white label. So our clients and our subscribers, they'll come to us, they'll subscribe to the BizEquity platform, and they'll deliver valuations in real time on their own white label. So again, it has your personal brand, your look and feel of your firm, and provides you with an entirely new way, not only to find and engage with new business owners and to prospect in the marketplace, but also to deliver, excuse the pun again, a heck of a lot of value to your existing business owner clients and prospects. And so what's great about our platform is, again, regardless of the stage that you are in the business, or really what business you're in, because we understand that a lot of people on the call may be in kind of different verticals, anybody that serves the business owner can use and find value in our platform. And regardless of the stage that you're in, whether you're building your personal business and you have a very aggressive new client acquisition strategy and you're trying to build a book of business, you can use the platform for that. Whether you have a very mature business and you're only bringing on a couple new clients each year, the platform can, again, provide a ton of value for your existing book of business and the clients that you serve. So our proprietary algorithm, because again, what we've done is we put business valuation online through our patented 7-step process, and we put it in your hands and allow you to deliver it to your business owner clients. So the algorithm itself, I'll talk just briefly about, but know that the platform is kind of, I always say, beautifully simplistic on the front side, right, on the user experience side. So if you're Jason Early, right, and you're not very bright, and it's very, you don't know a whole heck of a lot about business valuation, or you don't know how to pull somebody through, the platform does all the heavy lifting for you. The algorithm on the back end is obviously very complex, and that's what feeds the valuation number. But our algorithm was built by our Chief Valuation Officer, Scott Gabehart, who is one of the foremost experts on private business valuation. Scott's done more than 5,000 offline valuations. He testifies to this day for the SBA and the IRS. He wrote the business valuation book, and so we're very lucky to have him as our full-time Chief Valuation Officer. And Scott was the bright mind behind our algorithm. And again, to Scott and our founding team's credit, right, valuation isn't something that you can be half right on. And so we spent over 3 years at our founding building the technology and building the algorithm to get it as exact and precise as it is. And we've been benchmarked by KPMG and several clients of ours, banks and insurance companies, et cetera. And I think one of the things that makes us unique, or makes our platform unique, is that we're using more data sets than anybody. So when you think about traditional, be it accounting firms or valuation shops that are valuing businesses, their largest spend is quite honestly probably on data sets, so transaction history data and things like that. We're gathering that from so many sources that it makes our data set so robust. The 7 steps. Again, this allows you to deliver your business owner prospects a valuation in real time. The software, right, is going to dynamically change as you go throughout, and then you input data. You're going to see, think of like a TurboTax number where you watch your return number dynamically change. You'd watch the business value dynamically change as you input information, and then we'll stack rank the business once you complete. So we'll stack rank the business both on a local and national basis. The platform creates 2 outputs. I'm going to talk about both in just a second. But one is a 29-page business valuation report, and the second is just a 2-page insurance value report. And then ultimately, it'll deliver 12 key performance indicators, or what we kind of call McKinsey for Main Street. And again, I'll talk about that in just a second. So here's a quick look at the business valuation report. And again, this is the 29-page report that you can generate in real time. So if you imagine sitting with your business owner prospect and or sending a secure smart link to your business owner prospect, they can input this data, or again, you can pull him or her through the process in real time, and then boom, with the click of a button, generate this report. And again, I'm happy at the end of the call, I'll put up my contact information to send anybody a sample report. But this report's going to go through why business valuation is important, our methodology, 4 different conclusions of value on the business, a financial summary, and again, those 12 KPIs or key performance indicators that I mentioned. And again, we make it very turnkey and very easy for you to deliver. So in the background here, you can see one of those KPIs is inventory turnover. Again, if you're like me, you don't know much about inventory turnover, that's okay. In the report, we'll tell you, why does it matter? What does it mean? And give me an example. So as the advisor, it's very easy for you to deliver this report to your business owner clients, and it packs a lot of punch and a whole heck of a lot of value. But one of the other things is again, when we looked at that number that I shared early on, which was 40% of business owners don't have life insurance, and 50% of those that do are underinsured. So if you're in the insurance business at all, right, what I hear is that's an incredible market opportunity, right? Because they're all getting it wrong. So everybody could stand to benefit from my advice. And one of the biggest things in the business owner space, obviously, is the buy-sell agreement. How can you fund a buy-sell agreement properly without understanding the value of your business, right? So how are you protecting the value that you've created, right? If I'm a business owner and I've created this incredibly valuable business, it's important for me to protect it for my business partners, for my employees, but most importantly for my family, right? And I want to make darn sure that I'm doing that. And again, it's difficult for me to do that if I don't know the value of the business. And so this second report is this insurance value report. And what this does is it says, hey, Grace Wagner Manufacturing, based on your business value of $4.6 million, here's what businesses that look like you carry in these different key coverage areas, right? So buy, sell, key person, general liability, property, all these different key coverage areas. And again, we have subscribers to our platform that may not work in the insurance space at all, but they love this report because they're providing value to their business owner clients and prospects, right? And we know that the more trust that you build, the more credibility that you build, the more business that you'll win. And so if I'm in the financial planning, or if I'm in the wealth management space and I don't play in the insurance space even a little bit, I still may want to deliver this report to say, hey, Grace, right, who's my prospect, again, whether you take a referral from me to get this done or talk to your existing relationships, here are the coverages that you ought to be considering as a business owner, because here's what other businesses that look like you carry in these different key coverage areas. And so again, it's an incredibly valuable report to be able to deliver to your business owner clients and prospects. And so I'm going to talk just briefly about our Client Success Center, because our Success Center is kind of the third leg of our platform, but it's incredibly powerful because you think of this, again, our subscribers get access to our Success Center, and what you get in here is effectively a resource library or a content library that's going to help you market the platform. So if you're out in the marketplace and you're marketing to business owners, a lot of the marketing that, again, financial advisors, accountants, bankers, wealth managers, who are all, subscribers to our platform, a lot of the marketing that they're doing falls on deaf ears, right? Because unfortunately, business owners don't wake up thinking about their estate plan or their insurance plan or their investment portfolio. They just don't. What do they wake up thinking about? Their business. And so what our platform provides you is endless marketing content, slide decks and social media posts and blog posts and marketing slicks, you name it. Endless content to market to the business owner community with things that speak directly to them, which is, hey, here's why understanding the value of your business is important. There's white papers on our algorithm and pieces on innovative ways to approach business valuation. So again, this is even if you didn't have the other two parts of our platform, the marketing content alone in our Client Success Center is worth its weight in gold, because what it's going to do is it's going to make you as an advisor or a servant to the business owner community valuable in your own community, right? By delivering this content, you become a thought leader, or now they're thinking about you when they're thinking about all these different things. And my guess is, again, most people aren't marketing to the business owner around what's most important to them, and again, that's their business's value. And so we have, again, you can see here, we get great testimonials all the time from our clients and our subscribers, and we're very fortunate to have over 3,000 subscribers to our platform. And you can see here we have just over 500 firms and 1,500 advisors in just the last 12 months. And I'll just highlight one here. You can see Jim Urban, who's a great friend of ours, who says, right, BizEquity has helped my practice close 5 business owner clients and over 100 million in AUM, right? So Jim has been with us for a number of years, and what's great about our platform is it isn't necessarily one of those things that you have to be in every single day, right, to get ROI on it. Jim uses this very strategically with his business owner clients, and again, it's delivered so much value to the clients that he's worked with, that it's brought in, again, over $100 million of assets under management. So it's very exciting to us because, again, as you'll see on this next slide, right, it's big ROI for our clients, right? It's gigantic return on an investment, but it's a bigger impact, right? And it's a big impact for the business owners that our clients serve, right? So not only are the business owners gaining an understanding of what their business is worth, but the advisors that serve them are finding and engaging with all these new businesses in their community on the topic, and then being able to provide advice and their products and services around it. So you can see darn near $1 billion in insurance sold, darn near $1 billion in assets, and over almost 150 million in new loans. And this is just from a small sample size of our subscribers who have responded to the survey. And so, again, we're very proud of not only the return on investment that it creates for our subscribers, but the impact that it's making in the communities that you all serve. And we're very lucky to be guided by some of the brightest minds in technology and in strategy, in financial services, of folks that are on our board. And so, again, if you go to www.bizequity.com, you can see under our team who our board is. But again, I'd just like to highlight who some of those minds are that are help kind of shaping the direction of our company, and we think that's important. So again, we're very gracious that you all chose to spend 30 minutes with us today, and want to be very respectful of your time. And so, as I wrap up, I want to close with a couple things. Again, we have over 3,000 subscribers that kind of pay for access to our platform, and they do that because with platform access, right, which you would get as part of this offer, you get full platform access, which means access to the 7 steps. It means access to our prospecting, right? You get full access to the prospecting, as well as access to the Client Success Center. And so for that, right, our list price is $299 a month for one user. As part of this webinar and as part of kind of the discovery webinar today, you can get access for just $199 a month. And so again, when you think about that, for $2,400 a year, if I find one new business owner client, or I take this to one existing business owner client, it's going to pay for itself several times over. And so, again, we're very appreciative of your time. I'm just going to put up my contact information here in closing, and again, give the offer that shoot me an email, shoot me a text. Let me know if you want access to a sample report. I'm happy to send a sample report. But as part of kind of this webinar today, in closing, you'll get a follow-up email from Grace that'll include not only the recording from the demo, but a copy of the deck as well. And so, again, very appreciative of your time today. We would love the opportunity to work with each and every one of you. So please don't hesitate to reach out. Again, very simple, Jason@BizEquity.com, and/or there's my cell phone number, and we'd love to hear from you. So hope you'll all have a wonderful rest of the day, and please, feel free to join us on our mission to democratize business valuation knowledge for the business owner. Thank you very much.